Hi everybody, it's Sandy Bacus here. My channel name is Sandy B. Stitcher, and I'm so happy to be here and visiting with all of you. Welcome to my channel. If you're new, I'm glad you stopped by, and I hope you like what you see and you will subscribe and press that like button. And if you're returning, I'm so glad you came back to visit with me again. I swear I have the best commenters of anybody. You guys are totally awesome. And I really enjoy reading the comments. I have a few still in my email that I haven't gone on and hearted them yet, but I will get to that. It's been kind of a busy, crazy while. I think my last video, I think, was a week ago Tuesday, and today is Thursday. It's October 10th, and this month is just flying by. I started out, I was going to do this video on Tuesday, and there's been something that's happened every day and prevented me from doing it, and I'm not all that put together today, but I thought, you know what, this is do or die. I'm going to get this video done today one way or the other, so bear with me if I kind of hum and and haw and all that kind of stuff. It's just because I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm here. So I've got a little bit of a list here. I didn't really write down everything, but I'm going to try to just wing it. So we've welcomed everybody. I got a new laptop. Again, I know. I hated that laptop that I bought a few months ago. Absolutely hated it. For anybody who cares, it was an Asus. I gave it to my husband to replace his Dell because he's got a lot of crap on his Dell and it really needs to be cleaned out and taken to the Geek Squad and let them fix it up. But so I gave him the Asus and I went out and bought myself a Lenovo. And I went to Staples to get it. It was $200 off, so I was able to get a laptop that was a little bit nicer, but for a cheaper price. And I think this camera is going to be awesome. So far, it looks really good. And I did just a little tiny test video, and everything looked good. So we're hoping that there are no problems with it. Let's see. What else? Okay, I did want to tell you a little story. Excuse me, I just had lunch a little bit ago. I've been racing around these last few days. I ran out to the grocery store this morning and I came home and then I was helping my husband with something and then I rushed to get my stuff together and so here I am. You got me, burps and all. All right, so, oh, the little story. See, I told you it's gonna be oh, well, we'll see. All right. My cat, I have three. They were strays and drop-offs and ferals, and I took them in and I made them into domesticated animals. They don't stay in the house because they lived outside most of their lives, but they come in and they go out. And for some reason, the cats like the roof. I don't know if it's because this is a 4-level split and there's a lot of different levels and they like to go up there and run and jump and all that kind of, I don't know. But anyways, the 3-legged cat, and he lost his leg not long after I took him in. He got caught in a trap, in case you're new and you're wondering, how did he end up with 3 legs? We tried to fix it, but the vet finally said it had to come off. So he has 2 back legs, 1 front leg. Well, I was sitting here one day at the computer paying bills, and all of a sudden I heard kind of a ruckus right out the picture window here. And I looked up and I went, holy God, that cat was hanging off the side of the roof by his 1 front paw. And so I jumped up, I ran outside, and I'm like, oh, Boots, my God. And where he was, I was going to try to get underneath him, but where he was hanging from, he was right over the top of some bushes and an azalea bush, and plus the trees right there, the branches from the tree. The only thing I can think is that he climbed the tree and tried to jump onto the roof, and that he either caught a branch that wasn't good or something. I don't know, but he was struggling with his back legs, trying to bring him up and hanging by that one paw. There's no way he could get himself up there. He had to drop. So I ran over there. I got as close to him as I could, and he fell. So I immediately ran over to the other side of the bush and the tree because it's a little open, more open over there. And he very slowly made his way out of there. And he was kind of sitting there on the ground, and I started petting him and asking him if he was okay and trying to check him all over and everything. And all at once, he just laid down on the ground and he put his head down. Scared me to death. So I asked him, because usually these cats don't like to be picked up much. They're getting a little bit better with me because I've taken care of them for so long. So I asked him, I said, Boots, do you want mommy to pick you up? And he just laid there. So I reached down, I got my arms around him, I lifted him up, I held him up real close here and just gathered him in with my arms, and he laid his head down here. And I just kind of held him and just kind of rocked him back and forth like you would a baby, and just soothingly talked to him and told him it was going to be okay. And which I wasn't sure, because I thought if he breaks that front leg, that's it. It's over. So I held him for a while. I carried him into the house. He wanted to get down, so I set him on the computer desk here next to me, and he laid there for a while. And then he decided he was ready to get down from there. And then I just watched him walk and kind of kept an eye on him. And he was kind of really slow for a while. But then later that day, I saw him run across the kitchen. So I thought, well, if he can run across the kitchen, you know, he's going to be okay. And I thought he's probably pretty sore, because that was a good fall. And so, especially into all that brush and everything. So, we've been keeping an eye on him, and he seems to be doing okay. He's sticking more close to home and not taking off. For yesterday, last evening was the first time that he really took off for any length of time, because we have a lot of woods. So, you know, they like to go and hunt. And yesterday, I think it was, my husband was working in the barn, and he kept going up the steps to the barn loft, and he was hunting mice. And then he'd come down with something and he'd eat that, and then he'd go back up there. And so I told my husband, I says, be very careful that you don't lock him in there, because he's gotten locked in the shed and the barn a couple of times. But anyways, that's my story. It turned out well. It was a little exciting for a little bit, but it turned out well. My husband lost a crown off of one of his teeth on Monday. And so he went over to the dentist, and they told him that his teeth are just, no matter what they do, we found out it's the meds that he takes for the Parkinson's. That's what's ruining his teeth. And we have put thousands and thousands of dollars into his teeth. Over the last several years, I would say we've probably spent close to $20,000 on dental work between the two of us. And I haven't had that much. It's almost all his. And now we know that it's the medication causing the problem. And they have decided that, at first, the dentist on Monday told him that they might be able to pull some teeth and then put a partial in. And then on Tuesday, we went to see the doctor that actually does dentures and the partials and all that kind of stuff. And he looked at the teeth and he said, no. He said, all of these teeth need to come out. He says, there's not anything in here that's good enough to really anchor a partial to. And the doctor from Monday had been talking about, when we found out, he was talking about a snap-in, and that's an implant. And the guy said, that's $14,000 to $16,000 for a partial snap-in like that. And he said, you'd pay that, and then you'd have to turn around because those other teeth are still not that good, and they would go bad, and then you'd end up having to start all over again with a whole denture. So he recommended a plan of action that, including the teeth being pulled and everything, it should cost us less than $5,000, and that will be for an entire bottom denture for him. He is not happy, needless to say, but there's really no choice. And so we've been dealing with that all week. We've been spending a lot of time sitting and talking about it. So consequently, that's why I didn't get the video done on Tuesday or Wednesday. And sorry. So here I am today. All right, enough of that kind of stuff. Now we're going to talk about cross stitch. All right, first of all, I've got things laying around here, so I'm kind of going to go over them. All right, I have one more thing to talk about before I do cross stitch because it's laying right here. I want to get it out of the way. Remember a few weeks ago when I took you for a little walk around the yard and I showed you the I can't talk, the chestnut tree? And I told you that those little spiky balls would open up in the fall and they would fall, the chestnut would fall out, and then we have to go around the yard and pick them all up. Well, I started doing that yesterday. So I have to put my gloves on. Well, first I can show you the chestnuts. These are chestnuts. If you're not familiar with chestnuts, this is a chestnut. And there's the bottom and there's the rip part that attaches on the inside. And most of them are pretty close to the same size and the same shape. See if I can hold them here. I have 3 of them here. And don't ask me what you do with it. I know there's a song that says roasting chestnuts over an open fire. I tried roasting chestnuts once. No, I don't know. Maybe I wasn't doing it right. But anyways, there they are. All right, now to show you the pod. And I got to put my gloves on here. And even with these gloves, I have to still be very careful how I pick this up because these things hurt. I was picking them up and putting them in a bucket yesterday outside in the yard. And I got pricked quite a few times. But anyways, remember how they were green little balls? All right, when in the fall, they turn brown. And then this is where they open up. The chestnut was right inside there. And when they fall, they kind of crack open and fall off the tree. And the chestnut falls out. Sometimes you'll find them out there where the chestnut's still stuck in there. And sometimes there'll be 2 small chestnuts in there that haven't totally developed. And then those a lot of times will get stuck in there. Now when we go through the yard, and these are prickly, very prickly, they hurt. If I would push my fingers down on this, even through the gloves, it would hurt. And this is my stitching hand, so I don't want to do that. But anyways, that's what it looks like. And I've got to keep going out and picking these up and keeping them out of the yard because the cats try to walk through the yard and they step on these and it really hurts their paws. So I'm going to set that over there. Now we're going to talk about cross stitch. You knew I'd get to it eventually, right? Okay, I wanted to show you a couple of things. Remember, I'm going back showing you some of my older things. This is my pillow from last year that I did, and this was my very first pillow, and it's a mess. But it's mine, and I love it. The first time that I went to do this, and I was putting the interfacing on this, I ironed it onto the front of the cross stitch. So I had to peel it off, so it kind of didn't mess it up too bad, but it's crunchy on the front because that interfacing kind of stuck on there. And then when I went to sew it together, I missed some of the edges. So then I went back through and I did the zigzag stitch all the way around. And then that was where I sewed it together at the bottom. And I didn't try to force it back into the machine and zigzag the bottom. But there was the front, there was the back. It was my first pillow. I like it. Okay, now this is another older project. This was a magazine chart. This was Paula Vaughn, and I forget what the name of it was, but it was in a magazine, and it was a color chart, and I thought it was going to be the death of me. But I finally got it all done, and I hope you can see that. It's beautiful, isn't it? I did not put glass on this. And I started this in 2016, and I had all the cross stitches done for probably a year before I got all that back stitching finished. Because if you are familiar with Paula Vaughn, she really uses the back stitch to detail her projects, and it took me a long time. So I finished this last year. So there's that, and it usually hangs on the wall right over back there, just in front of where that scarecrow I have hanging there. I got out a few little decorations. I don't do a lot of decorating for Halloween. I have a black cat, a pumpkin over there, and it's a crocheted pumpkin, and I have a little pumpkin that I bought at Hobby Lobby. Okay, next. The next thing I have in my pile here is the duck chart that I was to give away, and I only had one person request this, and that was Vicki Pick. I only put Vicki P. Vicki, you know who you are. Pickworth or Pickstock or something. I don't remember. Oh my gosh, I'm a mess. I am a real mess. But anyways, I'll get this sent out to you, Vicki, and I apologize for messing with your name. Okay, the next thing that we'll talk about is my 500 subscriber giveaway. And if you haven't seen it before, it's the palette stitching, it's the Leisure Arts chart, and it is this Dimensions kit. And I'm going uptown to my LNS sometime before the 16th when I'm going to draw for this. And I'm going to get something or a couple of somethings to put in with this that will be a surprise. There'll probably be a chart and maybe a couple of accessories or maybe some floss. I haven't totally made up my mind yet, but maybe it'll depend on what I see there. But anyways, I'm drawing for this. This is for my 500 subscriber giveaway, drawing on the 16th. Anybody who has made a comment on the last video, and I think it was the video before that one, and this video, you're in. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to, it's just a comment. You could just say, hey, Sandy, how you doing? That's a comment. You'll be in the drawing for this. So far, without the ones that I have in my email that I haven't gotten to, I have 22. So it's not like I have a ton of people that are in for this. So get your comment in so that you have a chance to win my 500 subscriber giveaway. Okay, now, plans. That was the next thing up here. So I went to the library today on my way to the grocery store, and I made some copies of a couple of charts so that I can have working copies and I can get started on these sometime here soon. And I had showed you this one. This is Family Quaker. This is the one that I'm going to do on that 25 count linen that Kathy, Crafty Cat Stitcher, had sent to me. And so I'm going to try to work on, put this on that. And then this other chart, pull it out here. This was a freebie that I had gotten when I was down in Cincinnati at Keepsakes, when I went down to say hey to Pam and Steph. And this was a free one, and part of this chart had been stitched and was hanging on the wall above the copies that they had of this. So it's just the chart. So I'm just going to quickly show it, but it was free, so I don't think there's really that big of a deal. It doesn't even say who the chart was by, I don't think. Let me look at the other. No, there is nothing on here that's called Fruit Bowl, but there's nothing on here that tells you who made the chart, where it came from, nothing. Just a list of the floss and the sizes, and you could do this vertical or horizontal. And I'm going to do it horizontal. And so that's going to be something else. I thought that would be cute. It was beautiful down there. So on the model that I saw. And so I thought that would make a nice fall stitching. So that's my plan for that. Okay, next thing. I had watched quite a few new floss tubers. I'll get to my whips. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Really, I have been taking my medication. I'm just, for some reason, this fall weather has energized me, and I'm on my medication. I'm just got lots of energy. All right. I've been watching a lot of floss tubers, but I didn't write anything down about any of them. So I'm just going to tell you about the ones that I have watched. Not going to really say too much of anything about them. I will put the list down below. I'll put it in after I upload this. So if you watch the video like real soon after it's uploaded, you may not see the list, but it will be there. I'm not going to put links. I don't have time. I'm sorry. I know I'm retired. I should have all the time in the world, but my husband, I have too much that I have to keep doing. I can't leave him outside for very long by himself because I don't know what he's going to do. So anyways, I mean, I'm sitting here now and I can hear banging and banging and banging out there. So anyways, here is the list. I have subscribed to all of these. If I watch somebody and I wasn't really interested, I didn't write them on the list. I'm not even going to talk about them. Okay, Rara's Realm. She is Australian. Curahee Stitcher. And she is, I believe it's Georgia. She has a beautiful southern accent. And her Curahee is for a mountain in Georgia, if I got that right. Okay, Chari Price, and it's Chari. She's one of these that Priscillifies everything. She got really nice finishes. Gemstone Stitches. Simple and Blessed Stitches. Janet Jabber. Oh, she got beautiful hair. She's got long hair. It's real wavy. And it just comes way out from her head. You know me. I love that because mine's so thin. And I was combing my hair this morning and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm losing so much hair and I don't have that much to lose. You may see a wig in my future. Okay, back to this. Crafty Peacock Stitchery. Maximum Cross Stitch Power Hour Ellen Reid. I think everybody has heard about her. Boy, is she full of energy. And then the last one is Jenny McStitcher. Now, I may have mentioned one or two of these prior to this. I wasn't sure, but I'm going to list them all below. And as I watch new ones, I will try to keep a list and let you know. There are so many floss tubers out there that are just starting, and when I go out there and I try to watch new ones, I look for people who are just starting out or who don't, maybe they've been doing videos for a while, but they don't have a lot of subscribers like me. Okay, so that's that. Okay, now I guess we're ready for the whips. I think I've gone over everything else. Of course, I have no finishes. Okay, I have been working on Glory of Autumn, which is a Dimensions kit. Beautiful. And I had only just not a lot done on this, and I stitched on this quite a bit this week. And I have some threads hanging down here, so I'm just going to move those out of the way and show you where I'm at. And I've just been coming down, kind of diagonally down this tree and working on the tree. Very enjoyable. So I got a long ways to go on this, but I got it out because I thought, well, it's fall, it's time. Actually, I spun my wheel and my wheel came up with it. Okay, another one that my wheel came up with was Frederick, the Literate. Another Dimensions kit. Oh, and the fabric on this, it's a 14 count, and it's Ivory Ada, and it's what came in the kit. And on Frederick, I switched the fabric out for this one. It was black Ada, and the piece that was in my kit wasn't big enough. Thankfully, I measured it before. Hang on just a second, because I have my laptop unplugged and it just went to battery saver mode. So my picture went darker, and I imagine that's probably going to translate. So I'm going to plug it in here. Okay, brighten. There we are again. Okay. All right. Here we go. This is brown Ada, 14 count. And I'll hold it back where you can see the whole thing. And actually, all I really did on this, I maybe put in 15 cross stitches, but I was working on some of the back stitch, but not a whole lot. So I hope to, next time I get this out, it needs the back stitch caught up before I go any further. And you know how I am with back stitch. I've just got to make myself do it. And then the one that everybody's been waiting for, Shades of Summer. 14 count, white Ada. This is an artisy design. And I did quite a bit on this. And first, I'm going to try to show you. This is going to be so dirty before I'm done with it. I'm going to show you where I was stitching, and then I am going to hold up the whole thing. Where I've been stitching, remember last time I showed you this was the bottom of a page here. And so what I did, this is a partial page. This is the very bottom of the design on this side. So I've been working on this. And that's all I worked on, was just that page. And I'm going to finish that page before I go on to anywhere else, so that I have that one whole side is done. And now I will hold the whole thing up and, well, get it right side up. And I will show you okay, is it in there? Let me go back just a little bit more. How's that? Try to bring it in a little bit. Bring it a little closer and just come in and bring it up. How's that? I can't see what you're seeing, so I hope I'm showing it to you. But that's Shades of Summer, an artisy design. And that is all the whips that I've been working on. And in addition to my plans that I showed you about the two that I hope to start here sometime in the next few weeks, I also came up with the idea of spinning my wheel and coming up with 4 whips plus Shades of Summer. So I would have 5 whips that I'm going to put out on my table here, and I'm going to work on them for the next, I don't know, till I get tired of working on those, and see if I can make some progress that way. because you sure don't make much progress on these large projects if you only work on them a couple of days and then put them away and get something else out. So the ones that my wheel brought up that I'm going to be working on are Quaker Diamonds, Sweet Land of Liberty. I don't know if you guys remember that one. I haven't looked at it in a while, so I'm going to have to refresh my memory. Frederick, which is right here, so we know what that one looks like. Glory of Autumn, so that one's right here, so we're going to do some more work on that one. And of course, Shades of Summer. So those are the projects that I will be working on for the next few weeks, and those are the ones you're going to be seeing. I hope you don't get tired of them, of seeing them. And I hope I don't get tired of stitching on them. If I do, then I guess I'll start pulling some things out and okay, I know the words that I want to say. They're rolling in my head. They just aren't coming out of my mouth. I'll have to spin the decision wheel again and trade something in and out. I think that's everything. We're at just over 31 minutes. I want to wish everybody happy stitching. Don't forget, leave a comment so you'll get entered in the 500 subscriber giveaway. And we've had beautiful fall weather here. It was real dreary for a few days, cloudy and everything, but now it's been nice. Temperatures in the 70s, but tomorrow I think they're saying the high is going to be 55. And we've had really lows. I mean, when I get up in the morning, the temperature in the house is down to about 63 or 64, but we haven't turned any heat on yet because we knew that the temperature would be going up during the day. But tomorrow, with only a high of 55, I think we may have to put on some heat for a little bit. So we'll have to wait and see. So good luck to everybody, and I'm sending out my love to everybody, my hugs to everybody. Take care and enjoy that stitching. See ya. Bye-bye.